Keon Ellis,
dribble,
which
sort
sure,
of.
Zach LaVine can bring the ball up the floor. So big time question marks. In-house options at shooting guard. You've got Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keon Ellis, Devin Carter as that non-ball handling guard.
I think
they have a lot of players at that spot.
Yeah, they do, and they have a couple of players who can act as secondary ball handlers, and even primary ball handlers with the second unit. Right, so
right, that's where Malik should fit.
Yeah, and I also thought like Zach LaVine throughout his career has proven that he can pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just doesn't. It's not always his thing.
He's not looking to pass necessarily.
Yeah, and I think he's actually a very competent passer. He even had, I think he had a 10 assist game after he got traded to the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that for his career is, averages 4 assists per game.
Sure.
So I'm okay with him being like a secondary playmaker. But when I look at the shooting guard position, I said this to you earlier. I think you could trade Zach LaVine and not acquire another shooting guard and still be okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I also want to talk about trading Zach LaVine here for a second, because I think we've been operating like that's just an untradeable deal. And it's just, man, what a just huge contract. But given the amount of games he played last year and given the efficiency that he scored with last year,
yeah,
I don't know that teams are knocking down the door to get Zach LaVine necessarily, but there was a market for him at the last trade deadline. And I think given how he played in Sacramento, if there's a team that just needs some scoring, needs some shot creation, needs some shooting, and Zach LaVine is there and available, I don't think it's this impossible, man, you've got to attach 4 firsts just to get out from underneath it type of deal. And the Kings may not want to. They may see Zach LaVine as a piece of their future. But I was just thinking about that. I think I was actually listening to you on D-Lo and KC, and I just was like, man, I don't know that the LaVine contract is as untradeable as it felt like a couple of years ago.
Well, I don't think it's as untradeable if there's a way for you to get into if you go big game hunting.
Yeah.
Right. So if you get into like the LaMelo or Trey or again John Morant sweepstakes. Well, yeah, the Giannis sweep. No, I'm not going to say. But if you were to go like chase one of those players, first of all, I don't think any of those players work with Zach in the backcourt.
Yeah.
But like financially, their contracts would match up pretty close, and it would be an easier just like, hey, let's make a trade. And that's where I look like if Keon Ellis is your starting shooting guard for the next 5 years, I don't think you're a bad team. Like, I don't think he makes you a bad team. I think he can average 10 to 12 points a game as like an off-ball 3-and-D, like excellent defender playing 30-plus minutes a night. I think the Kings are better when Keon Ellis plays 30 to 35 minutes a night. I do. So if Zach LaVine were to either move to the small forward spot or no longer be there, I think you're okay at the position, especially when you've got Malik Monk, who is going to play 26 to 28 minutes a game off the bench, and when you've got Devin Carter that can at least play 15 minutes a night and maybe more in some situations. So I think that it's a really strange situation to be in, but I also know that the NBA doesn't value shooting guards like they do other positions.
Right.
So we're talking about Cam Thomas earlier. Cam Thomas,
what a legend,
isn't gonna get. He might get paid by Brooklyn, but I don't think so.
He's a restricted free agent. I don't think there's going to be a ton of teams trying to max out Cam Thomas.
No, and that's the thing.
Awesome,
you look at him and you're like, hey, he should be able to make more money than this. But like shooting guards are that's why you don't trade a point guard for a shooting guard, especially when you already have a whole roster full of shooting guards.
And this is where we were looking at trade options. This might actually be advantageous for the Kings if they are looking to get off DeMar DeRozan's deal. If they are looking to get off of Zach LaVine's deal. There's not a ton of guys that fill the roles that those guys fill just in the trade market. He's not in players that I perceive to be potentially available. Like one guy that jumps out is like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Not doing anything for anyone.
No.
2 guard, play some defense. I know he didn't have a great year in Orlando. But that's the type of, I threw Derek White on there like because he can play that role. But there's not a lot of, as you go down the list of teams, there's either like dime a dozen type of guys, or there's guys that, you know what, they're probably just not letting go of him. Andrew Nemhard. The Pacers are probably not trading Andrew Nemhard.
Yeah, I don't think they have to.
No.
So if you don't have to, you're not going to.
Right.
You can see the
like, would love to have him.
Yeah.
But probably not available.
No, I mean, you can see the emergence of a guy like Neesmith and say, okay, like I kind of like the idea of a Halliburton Neesmith backcourt. Maybe that creates a spot where you could get Nemhard, but like at the same time, I don't think so. Like that team is built to, like, they're affordable pieces. Like they've done a good job, a lot like OKC, of locking up some of their players long term to like reasonable contracts. We talked about Neesmith, $11 million a year for like the next 3 years. That's really nice. So, yeah.
I want to look at Nemhard's contract real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's see. 3-year, $58 million extension with the Pacers. So he's 18-1, 19-5, 20.9. And he's a free agent at age 29.
Okay.
Man.
That's interesting. That's almost identical to the George Hill contract that Scott Perry signed. It was, I think it was a 3-year, $57 million deal, 19 a year.
Just found this guy in the second round. Jeez Louise, man.
Well, I mean, he's a Gonzaga guy. I mean, like, everybody knew who he was. He just, like, but they do a good job of not only finding guys, but then developing guys and giving guys opportunities. I mean, again, Neesmith got an opportunity. Like, Rick Carlisle's done an excellent job there of developing talent. And, like, look, we keep talking about Tyrese Halliburton like it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to be this player in Sacramento if you wouldn't have traded him.
Sure.
There's nothing that says that would happen.
Yeah.
There's just not.
Good point.
In his second season, he's still averaging 14 points a game when they traded him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, like, I hate to be brutally honest, but like, instability in an organization allows young players to slip through the cracks.
Yeah,
and to
miss out crucial years of development.
Yeah, it allows them to not reach their potential. When you keep switching coaches and every single coach that you have has a different idea of who you are as a player, it's not a good way to grow up in the NBA. It's a good way to get yourself bumped out of the NBA and lose your spot to one of the 31st round picks that are coming in each year.
Yep.
It's really tough.
Man. All right, I'm going to throw some free agent names at you.
Yep.
Some of these are going to be more uninteresting than others.
Okay.
Ty Jerome, talked about him yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were to lose
I'm out.
Malik Monk, okay. But, if you were to trade Malik Monk, then Ty Jerome, I'd be like, okay, I'll at least listen. Okay.
Bruce Brown.
I love Bruce Brown. He's got injury issues. He's not a great shooter and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I would still probably take, I would take
a little
Bruce
undersized,
Brown.
But can defend up.
Yeah, he can defend the 1-2-3.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I don't know that Minnesota's going to let him go, but man, you talk about a shooting guard that can defend his ass off 1 through 3, can knock down a corner 3. He's the perfect avatar for the player that I'm like, man, the Kings need like 2 more of those guys.
Yeah.
And he's an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah. Kind of in the same vein as Keon Ellis, right?
Yeah.
Like, different style, but like sort of in the same type.
A little bigger.
Yeah. And like, would I like to have him on the Kings? Sure. I'd also point out, like, Minnesota's like well over, they're financially, they're going to be in some trouble this year, especially with Julius Randle having
free agent.
Yeah, he has a player option at $31 million, and then Naz Reid has a player option at $15 million. So I wouldn't be totally shocked to see Nickeil Alexander-Walker gone, especially when you consider that they traded all kinds of assets last year for Rob Dillingham.
Yeah.
And so maybe they think he can step in and kind of fill that void. And they've got Dante DiVincenzo for more minutes. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's a good point. Tim Hardaway Jr. do anything for you?
Nope.
Yeah, no, I'm out. Karis LeVert do anything for you?
No.
Nah. A big Karis LeVert guy, but no. Matisse Thybulle has an $11.6 million player option. He's going to pick that up because that's what do you think? Probably 4 times what he'd get on the open market?
Yeah.
That's $11.6 million for Matisse Thybulle. It's crazy.
Now, see, that's a deal where if you're going to take on, if you could get Kamara, you could say, hey, we'll take Thybulle's last year.
Salary, yeah.
and you like free you guys up of that salary.
Yeah.
Give you the Kevin Huerter trade exception or whatever.
And maybe run into a good defender who can knock down a three, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. But like injury woes and everything
hasn't worked
else.
for anybody else, but
Just
maybe
like,
it'll work for us.
But having depth, hiding on your bench that actually plays elite defense,
yes,
would be really nice to have, because the Kings just haven't been able to find any.
If he's your 13th guy and you're getting cooked by, I don't know, Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, hey, Matisse, go try and defend
something.
Him. Yeah.
Go do something there.
If you're gonna give me Markelle Fultz minutes, you can give me Matisse Thybulle minutes.
Yes.
Amir Coffey? Question mark?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Like Amir Coffey, I'm taking Amir Coffey, especially if you were to lose a guy like Jake LaRavia.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he's a better
same vein.
Yeah, like same quality of player.
We got to step aside on the radio side and pay some bills. I got 3 more players I want to run through with you, and we will probably do that with one of D'Lo or Casey, whichever one is in for the handoff. That's coming up next right here on ESPN 1320. We're the Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. It's Sacramento Sports Leader.